Japanese students consistently rank among the highest in the world for academic performance. They master thousands of complex kanji characters. They retain information that students in other countries forget within days. Is this genetic? Are they naturally smarter? Absolutely not. They use a memory system that most students have never even heard of. While you're cramming the night before and forgetting everything by next week, Japanese students are encoding information into permanent memory using techniques backed by centuries of tradition and modern neuroscience. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly how Japanese students remember everything and, more importantly, how you can use these same methods to transform your memory from unreliable to photographic. The foundation. Repetition is not the enemy. Western education tells you that repetition is boring, that rote learning is outdated. Meanwhile, Japanese students use systematic repetition to master complex information that would take Western students years to learn. But here's what they understand that you don't. It's not about mindless repetition. It's about strategic, spaced repetition at scientifically optimal intervals. The Japanese education system uses a method called kanji learning cycles. Students encounter the same character multiple times across different contexts, with increasing intervals between each exposure. Day 1, Day 3, Day 7, Day 14, Day 30. Research shows this spaced repetition method increases long-term retention by over 200% compared to massed practice. You're not studying harder, you're studying with precision. Method 1. The writing connection. Japanese students write everything by hand, not because they don't have computers, because handwriting creates neural pathways that typing cannot replicate. When you write kanji characters repeatedly, you're engaging motor memory, visual memory, and conceptual understanding simultaneously. Your hand learns the stroke order. Your eyes memorize the shape. Your brain encodes the meaning. Studies from Princeton and UCLA confirm that students who take handwritten notes retain information significantly better than those who type. The physical act of writing forces your brain to process and synthesize, not just transcribe. Stop typing your notes. Start writing them. Your memory will transform within weeks. Method 2. Breaking down complexity. Japanese students learn to read and write over 2,000 kanji characters by the time they finish high school. Each character is essentially a complex picture with multiple meanings. How is this possible? They break every character down into radicals, smaller components that build the whole. Instead of memorizing 2,000 random symbols, they learn 200 building blocks that combine in logical ways. This is called chunking in cognitive psychology. Your brain can only hold about 7 pieces of information in working memory at once, but if you chunk information into meaningful groups, each chunk counts as one piece. Whatever you're learning, break it into smaller components. Don't try to swallow the entire subject at once. Master the fundamentals, then combine them into complexity. Method 3. Active recall every single day. Japanese classrooms don't just lecture, they constantly quiz. Teachers call on students randomly to recite, explain, and demonstrate knowledge. There's no passive listening, everyone is always on alert. This creates what neuroscientists call retrieval practice. Every time you force your brain to recall information without looking at your notes, you strengthen the memory pathway exponentially. Research from Washington University shows that testing yourself is 50% more effective for long-term retention than reviewing your notes. Yet most students review constantly and test themselves rarely. Close your book. Try to write down everything you remember. Check what you missed. Focus on those gaps. This is studying. Everything else is just preparation. Method 4. The morning study advantage. Japanese students often arrive at school early to study before classes begin. They understand that morning hours, when the mind is fresh, are exponentially more valuable than exhausted evening hours. Your prefrontal cortex, responsible for memory encoding and complex thought, operates at peak capacity in the first few hours after waking. This is biological fact, not cultural preference. Studies on circadian rhythms show that memory consolidation is significantly better when learning occurs during peak alertness hours, typically morning for most people. Stop studying at midnight when you're exhausted. Wake up an hour earlier and study when your brain actually works. Same effort, triple the retention. Method 5. Teach to master. Japanese education emphasizes group study, where students teach each other. If you can't explain it simply to someone else, you don't truly understand it. When you prepare to teach something, your brain processes the information at a deeper level. You're not just memorizing facts, you're organizing concepts, identifying connections, and constructing explanations. Research shows that students who study with the intention of teaching the material retain 65% more than students who study just to pass a test. After learning something, immediately explain it out loud to an imaginary student. Every point where you struggle reveals exactly what you haven't truly mastered yet. Method 6. No distractions ever. Walk into a Japanese study session and you won't see phones on the table. You won't see laptops open to social media. You won't see students half-focused on multiple things. Neuroscience research confirms this. Every distraction fragments your attention and reduces encoding efficiency. You might spend 3 hours studying while distracted and retain less than 30 minutes of focused study would provide. One task, complete focus, nothing else. This is non-negotiable for memory formation. Method 7. Sleep as study tool. Japanese students understand that sleep isn't wasted time. It's when memory consolidation happens. What you study before sleep gets encoded into long-term storage during sleep cycles. Research from Harvard shows that people who sleep after learning retain information significantly better than those who stay awake for the same duration. Your brain rehearses and strengthens memories while you sleep. Review your most important material right before bed, then actually sleep. 7 to 9 hours consistently. Your memory depends on this more than any technique. Method 8. Constant self-testing. Japanese students use practice tests constantly, not just before exams, every single day. They test themselves on everything repeatedly until retrieval becomes automatic. This isn't about grades, it's about creating confidence through competence. When you can retrieve information instantly under pressure, you know you've truly learned it. Create flashcards, use apps like Anki, build your own practice tests. Make retrieval practice a daily habit, not a pre-exam panic. Method 9. Understanding before memorizing. Japanese students don't just memorize formulas, they understand why the formula works. They don't just memorize historical dates, they understand the causal relationships between events. Understanding creates a web of connections in your brain. Memorization creates isolated facts. When you understand something deeply, you don't have to work to remember it. It becomes obvious. Studies on meaningful learning show that information connected to existing knowledge networks is retained up to 10 times longer than isolated facts. Never memorize what you don't understand. Always ask why. Understanding is the foundation. Memory is just the natural result. Method 10. The discipline of consistency. Japanese students don't study in bursts. They don't cram. They study every single day, same time, same routine, regardless of how they feel. This isn't about motivation. It's about discipline. Your brain adapts to patterns. When you study consistently, your brain optimizes for that activity. Neural pathways strengthen, encoding becomes more efficient. Research on habit formation shows that consistency is exponentially more important than intensity. Studying 30 minutes daily is vastly superior to studying 5 hours once a week. Pick your study time. Make it sacred. Same time every day, no exceptions for 30 days. Watch your retention transform. The cultural component. Japanese culture values long-term thinking over short-term convenience. Students accept that mastery takes time, that shortcuts don't exist, that consistent effort compounds into excellence. Western culture wants instant results, quick fixes, life hacks. But your brain doesn't work that way. Memory requires time, repetition, and genuine effort. The Japanese students aren't smarter. They're more patient. They trust the process. They do the work others aren't willing to do. Your choice. You have the same brain capacity as Japanese students. You have access to the same techniques. The only difference is implementation. You can keep studying the way you always have, forgetting everything within days, wondering why nothing sticks. Or you can adopt these proven methods and watch your memory become a weapon. Start with 3 techniques from this video. Handwrite your notes, test yourself daily, study in the morning. Do this for 30 days and compare your retention to before. The methods work. The question is whether you'll actually use them. Now I want to hear from you. Which Japanese study method are you implementing first? What subject are you applying it to? Drop a comment below and commit publicly. If this video showed you a completely different approach to memory and learning, hit that like button. It helps other students discover these techniques and stop wasting time on methods that don't work. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more science-backed strategies that separate high performers from everyone else. Share this video with someone struggling to remember what they study. These methods could transform their academic performance completely. Thank you for watching. Your memory isn't broken. Your methods are. Fix the methods and your memory becomes unstoppable. I'll see you in the next video.